And welcome to another edition of Woodsy's Footy Club Tour. And I've got one of my great mates, Andrew Fifita. How you going, buddy?
What's happening, Ledge?
Oh, mate, bloody hell, I miss you, mate. We've had some good laughs off air, and we're just talking about some stuff. How you been, mate?
No, I've been good. I've been really good. Just loving life at the moment. Good on their kids' sport. Dead set running my life. And then if it's not that, I'm in a high school and pretty much doing the Sharks on the side. So
What are you doing in high school?
I'm the student support officer, so it's pretty much like a school counsellor.
Yep.
I'm part of the wellbeing team there and just
What
counsel
school? What school?
I'm at James Cook.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, technology high school,
far.
but like we're all boys school. I like the all boys initiative.
Yep.
But, there's big talks that we're going to merge, but I'm not too sure just yet. So,
And what are you doing with the Sharkies?
Sharkies, I'm the cultural advisor at the club.
The big man.
See how we go, but I've also just I don't know. It's going to get announced next week maybe. I just put my name forward to see if I can get some girls, coach the girls.
Oh,
So
nice.
I don't care where it is. Just I don't know, doing my girls this year was mostly the best thing I ever did.
So was that your daughter's side?
Yeah, my daughter's team. Well, she played up a couple of years, and I don't know, under 10s girls team, but we played an all boys comp.
Oh, wow.
So we started in under 9s because I was like, I'm not being sexist or anything, but you know what it's like. I was just like, you know what, under 9s, like gold, first division boys, most we put on our team. No, we end up killing them.
Wow.
Then went to bronze at our own age, 10s, and started killing them. So went to silvers. We lost one game the whole year.
Oh, the girls must have loved it.
Oh, the girls are loving it. Look, I have to preach on the mob from over the other side of the bridge. But,
How does Andrew, is he a calm, quiet coach, or is he like Shane Flanagan?
Oh, man. I think everyone's got their own role. You should see me rock up my boombox and everything.
Oh, no, stop it.
I have my warm-up drills and everything. I got told to turn it down on the weekend. It was funny as, and I was like, mate, you're talking to the wrong person.
You're a knucklehead. Mate, how happy do you get when you see the girls enjoy what they do?
Oh, look, it didn't really stick out for me just as yet. So I did touch over the off season with my daughter, and doing that under 10 team. She played a year above, and that was what really started opening up. And then we started getting into Oztag, and I was like, mate, my kids are running my life at the moment, and then I was like, you know what, why not? I want to grow the game. There's nothing in the Shire for girls sport unless you're 12 and over. Yep. But still, even the 12s, they're only playing 7-a-side and playing some teams. And
is it like that tag stuff and all that?
Well, if you go out west, that's where it is. It starts like that. West starts from 8 years old. They've got like one every year group. But for us, there's nothing in the Shire. So I was like, I've got a full, all girls team. I said, put us in the boys comp. Yep. And I guarantee every boys team was coming out there laughing. I said, wait. You'll see. Wait, meet this girl right here. Meet this girl.
Oh, wow.
And if one got injured, it was just on.
Oh, stop it. Good on him. And you just spoke about West. You're a Westie at heart.
Yeah.
Were you a Dooney boy?
Dooney boy. I grew up in Doonside. My dad's over at Mount Druitt, so it's kind of
is that a rival?
Bit of both. It is a rival at the moment, but it was never like that.
Yep.
And I guess the older generations and that, and then end up moving over towards Quakers, where you met Mum and Dad. And,
yes.
So it was quite the journey for me growing up. It is what it is. Like I'd never ever want to regret my life growing up. I loved every minute of it. It made me the person who I am. So
it's quite a journey.
And then
you and your brother, your twin brother Dave.
So Dave was all right. He was with me for part of it, and then pretty much when I was 16, 17, and ended up moving to Griffith.
Yeah. So what was it like down at Griffith?
Oh, big difference, the city and the country.
Yep.
I always say, because, in the city, we had a team in Dooney that no one ever wanted to play us because we were reckless. We just wanted to fight. Yep. We were up all night from pretty much Friday training session right through to Sunday morning. And then, it was just us. It's what we do. We had to go get our fix. We'd run around, and we loved the adrenaline. We'd get chased and that kind of stuff. And that was just us growing up. Everyone's asked me, how'd you get so fit?
Yeah, but see, a lot of people don't know how skinny you were back then.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've shown photos. I tell the boys that no one believes me. I actually grew up a fullback.
Yes. Fullback, Andrew.
That's why everyone's like, oh, no. And then when I went to Griffith, it was funny enough, all the boys started making Harry Mats and SG Ball, and I kind of skipped all that. I had bail conditions. I had to stay in the country. I couldn't come back to Sydney. Yep. And then when I got back, I had all this talk from Penrith boys going, have you seen the Fifita brother? He's hit a cycle, and I've got the Tigers. And I was just a fat mess. That's how good the food is back down there. I loved it.
Mate, so can you tell people it was Tigers that signed Dave, wasn't it?
No. So
or was it you?
It was Tigers signed me. It was actually So I haven't heard from anyone. So David actually got picked with Penrith.
Okay. Oh, yep.
And then I had a trial for a school match I played out at Dubbo. We versus Dubbo High. And some Cronulla Sharks guy goes, would you like a trial? And I was like, oh, yeah, maybe. But I'm in year 12. I've got to do my HSC. And I was a year above. So I was 19 when I finished high school. So once I went down after my last exam, I flew down and I got the train actually. And then I ended up playing against the Premier League boys. I couldn't. The 20s was the week before, but I had exams and that, and the grand final. I said, look, and they're like, would you mind playing against the Prems? I said, no, please. I play men every week. So I went down there, and I actually had a really good game. I actually I had 4 tries to my name. I was playing in the back row, and then that night I went home, and then someone blasted me at the game. I was filthy over it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I found out who it was too. It was me. It was one of our management staff out in the 2016 year. And
Really?
When I look back at that trial list and seeing who was the manager, it was him. And I was like, yeah. And he actually, Big Scotty's got my jersey, my other jersey. So we have 2 jerseys in the grand final. He's got me other one.
No way.
Yeah, but I love Big Scotty. But he actually went at me when I was trialing for 20s, and that put me off the club. I made the team, the 20s team, and then I had Tigers, Melbourne, Penrith, and I think it was maybe the Roosters, who all come asking me who this kid is. And I was like, look, whoever reunites me and my twin brother, I'm going there. And then Big Warren McDonald said, we can do that.
Oh, it was a fun time.
Oh, mate, our 20s team was the best, wasn't it?
I don't think we took it serious, did we?
Nah, well, to be honest, it was like, it was fun in games, man. Like, think about it, like, you're getting a fresh bunch of kids on the 20s, and
a lot of rejects too.
Oh, that's it. We were a bunch of rejects, and especially in that. So they already had pretty much the year before. They were pretty. Were they successful?
Yeah, they were stacked.
They were stacked.
Yeah.
So and then all the people that come off the year like before, they just come in like Michael Stolk, all those boys.
Stocky, your brother,
your best mate. So they were all like preempt already, like Swelly and all that. So they were all. We're meant to be in there, and we were in team 2. And I remember going down to was it Mollymook?
Mollymook, yeah,
where that trial match, and then pretty much that second team was the 20s actual team that we went through. But I always put it down to Burnsy, God bless his soul. He's con drills, like
he was our high performance coach.
Performance coach, but he just done con games. He made players compete. He made players just want to do what we love and have fun while we're doing it. So, you know,
he was one of he'd incorporate the hardest things ever, but it was in like conditioning game style.
100%. We're doing touch games where we're doing actual Malcolms while we're playing and running back to if you made a touch, you run back to a pole, get down and get back in the game.
Hit pads, all that sort of stuff.
It just made you compete because he made you if you lost the games, then we're in big trouble in the end.
Oh, mate. And you had to do more extras. But how fun was that year, seriously? Like, we probably didn't take it serious till halfway through when we were a chance of making the 8.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon? But we still didn't. Our team,
I didn't. I guess our dynamics of the team wasn't. I was in charge of the off-field party on. So we had 2 parts of the team. We had literally Leichhardt to the city, and then pretty much West and Sydney. I was bringing the party to the city, and every night we had a place to go. I always called it Tuesday nights was my day off. But everywhere else, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
Epping. Thursday was Greenwood. Friday night. Depends when you play.
Depends when you play. But see, everyone went home and slept, and I was out there. I was different. I was a different breed, man. I knew my fitness was that fit. Like I could just rock up. Like it had all day. I always said you had to have a job when you play, and I always said I was a professional clubber. It was just the way I was, and I remember rocking up with my boombox and my meat pie.
You did a lot
and
before.
Jonesy.
Yes.
Oh, Jonesy used to go off about it. Oh, it was the best.
It was you're probably a bit before your time, weren't you, with the boombox?
Oh,
Jerome Loy.
Yeah, I was. Well, I remember everyone. He was trying to preach that everyone's got their own prep. We should prep this way, and I was always about morale. Like if we're all feeling the beat, we're all getting pumped. You know, it's like you go to a festival and everyone's just bang bang loving it, and you can bring the energy up. But that honestly, that 20s year, it was one of the best years because we weren't meant to win it.
Nah.
We weren't meant to even in the semis.
Remember we sort of just snuck in.
Yeah.
And
I remember sitting there after a Gold Coast game. Was it a Gold Coast game? And we're waiting to see if Manly won, Roosters or something, or Dragons or something around that. And we just got a sniff in.
Yep.
And then once we took it from there, because
No,
I
but
remember,
do you remember the first semi?
we got
We got
absolutely
pumped.
by 50.
Yeah, by Brisbane.
Yeah.
And then we had one of the best nights ever afterwards up on
Yeah,
the
we
Gold
said we were
Coast.
out anyway.
So we thought we were gone.
Yeah.
Because that was the old, what was it, like first V8?
Yeah, first V8.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
different.
we must have finished 6th because we got another
We got another chance. We needed those 2 teams to lose.
And-
And they were getting the brush out.
Yes.
So the 2 lowest teams were out of the comp.
And then I think we played Canberra, who got, remember they got like Daniel
They
Vito
had-
back,
yeah,
Josh
they-
Dugan.
They had a
Croker.
stacked team.
And like we were just supposed to rock up and we were planning on Mad Monday
Yeah.
each week.
We're playing at SFS, I think.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
game?
SFS,
it was at
back then,
SFS.
yeah, it was, yeah, it was.
So I remember that game when we went in, it was just...
It was
I
fun.
remember, our little shed down the
Yep.
side when you first walk
near
in.
near the cricket ground.
But I remember my brother ended up, when he come on, that was our first try, and he nearly went over. And that's the only thing I remember from this game. He nearly went over in the first try, and I was like, no way. And then I ended up getting the ball, just charged straight over and scored first. I was like, there we go. Eat the pie, score the try.
I think we're up 20-0 at like half
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. And then we kind of got us, like, who do we verse the next game?
The Dragons.
Yeah.
It was the
Dragons.
Dragons
That was
to
it,
get
Trent
the GF.
Merrin and them.
Yeah.
So
And they were like they
too.
come second or first.
See, all these teams that we were versing had like NRL quality. Everyone was debuting. We were
Yeah.
the team. We had Rob Louis and Simon Dwyer.
That's it.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
I remember the last round I was meant to debut against Titans when we went up there. Sheensy come and talked to me and said, look, you got to make your debut.
Yep.
And I was like, really? And I was like, what does that mean? I didn't know. I just,
Come on, man. I got my HSC when I was 20.
That's it. I had no idea. It was my first ever rep career. I'm sitting there going, fuck. So you're telling me I've jumped from, all this stuff. I'm just here to have some fun.
Yeah.
I'm here with the boys. I'm playing the little Tigers. And
Oh, mate.
you know what it was like. And then the grand final for us, mate, I dwelled on this. And I still dwell on it. But ever since I won the comp, mate, it's gone. But it was the worst. And the following year, they bring in video refs.
So we'll talk so for people listening, right?
Yeah.
We're playing against Melbourne Storm, and then Melbourne. The other thing that was hard as well, Fifth, was if your first grade's still in the competition, you can still play the first graders in 20s if they don't make the side.
Yeah.
So I think it was like Bromwich and Proctor came back.
Well, Bromwich's both. Bromwich comes back. Proctor comes back. Matt Duffy came back.
Widdop was playing already.
Widdop was already in there, and he was playing.
Yep.
They had Dane Chisholm who debuted.
Yeah, he was going really
He
well.
was playing.
They had a few
And they had a
in
big
there.
centre. They had a massive centre. I don't know who it was.
No, wasn't Vivi, was it? No, he wasn't there. He was
Nah,
at South,
it was another big centre. He was a gun.
Yeah, but they had a good.
Like I think across the whole park. So if first grade Melbourne weren't in,
They
then
weren't allowed to play.
they weren't allowed to play.
Yeah.
That was the rules, and mate, they had a stacked team. But to be honest, we actually won that game. Well,
The scoreline doesn't say that.
in my heart, every Parramatta fan out there, they know we won that game.
So what happens at the end of the game? I think we're up 18-16.
18-16.
And then we put a grubber, or they put a grubber through,
Yeah.
sorry. And at this period of time in the 20s, there's no video ref. There's just in-goal touch judges.
Yeah.
Gareth Widdop dives on the ball,
Completely
which
missed.
we could clearly see he went nowhere near. And the in-goal touch judge said try. And then we see the replay. And yes.
The whole Para Stadium erupted. I was just like, that is...
The rest is history. We end up getting rolled. That was the last play of the game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or- yeah.
It was like we had a minute to go.
A minute to go, yeah.
But yeah, I'll get back to that moment, that feeling
I
from
know.
then on. Like
We've spoken about it plenty of times, and
but
we're going to get to that, don't worry. But the thing that broke my heart the most was next year watching the 20s and the semis,
yeah,
there was video ref.
video refs. Oh, and I thought they broke because remember the year before, Canberra actually they threw this big forward pass and they got they beat the Broncos.
On the grand
And I remember
final,
saying to them, like, I was with the mob in Griffith,
Mhm.
and I was like, imagine playing this.
Oh, mate.
This is like, this could be you next year, right? And it literally speak it in existence. I was there. I manifested it. Like,
Oh,
we're there in the next year. And everyone was like, whoever we were sitting with at the pub was like, mate,
You're there.
You're there. You did it.
You know, back on the HSC, I remember we were training that one day, and you go, hey, mate, I just got my HSC. I'm like, Fifth, how old are you, mate? I'm 20. I go, what'd you do,
Even your brother still to this day.
Oh,
He goes,
mate.
I haven't seen it. Don't want to know where it is. And I said, it's somewhere in Griffith.
Oh, it's
So
funny.
that's how we got it.
So, all right, so the next year rolls around.
Yeah.
Was it round 1 or 2 you debuted? Round 2, wasn't it?
Round 2, I debuted.
Against the Roosters.
Yeah. So we played the Foundation Cup.
Yep.
We went up to North Queensland and we were playing someone with Wes, and I ended up having a really good game. And then Sheensy's like, oh, I knew I made a mistake. I'm going to play this game. And I was like, oh, how good.
Thanks, Tim.
The best was I was actually coaching Matt Lodge that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was Lodge's coach, and I ended up coaching Lodgy the day I got the debut. And then
was that Matt Lodge with hair or no hair?
Well, the hairstyle's same right now. Says Gordon come back, and then so that was that. Yeah, I ended up leaving at half time. Literally, I think I got to the game literally at maybe 12:15, and we were kicking off at 4.
Jesus,
I was sitting in the car park.
Were you nervous?
I didn't know because they were so anal around, like, you got to be here, this, got to be that. And I was just like, okay. I get it.
Yep.
I do get it. But, like, I was like, I'm not going to be late.
You're not the type of man that sort of needs those sort of rules. You're sort of a bit more just tell him what time he's going to be there and that's it.
I didn't really, and this is me being a bit doughy and that, but I didn't really know how big of a day this was. Like, in the stand, I see the debuts now, and it's such a big thing. Everyone cries and that. And I just told me, I'm playing big footy this week, and I'm in the big team.
Yep.
And then she was like, oh, cool. No, we didn't.
It was different back
then.
then.
And then you know me. I'd never grew up watching rugby league.
Yeah.
We'll get to the origin days.
Don't worry, yeah.
But
pre-meetings.
There was a like, it was different. It was just, I took my brothers. Took some friends, and that was it. Like, there was maybe 10 of them that was in the crowd, and I was like, yeah.
It was always a good crew, and then I used to love your mate Pinky.
Yeah. Pinky's still there, don't worry. He's day dot. He literally every game, every rep moment, every Mad Monday.
Well, every Mad Monday he was like a secchi.
Yeah.
He was so good. He was a secchi that we didn't even have to employ.
Nah.
What do you remember from your debut against the Chooks?
I remember going out in the first half.
Yep.
And I played that, from 30 minutes onwards to half time, and I kind of played the way they wanted me to play. Get up, quick play the balls, straight and narrow, and then I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going all right. And then as we go in the sheds, we come back out, and then I look up at my brother, and he's kind of giving me the big, fuck, how they normally play.
Yeah.
Play you, and he's going, he's play you. And I was like, oh, yeah. So I've gone out there, first run of the game, grabbed the ball, just set it right foot, and just started fending. And I got to, like, the side, and I was like, I can't go any further. So, and then someone's grabbed me, and I just fended, went down, and then, I don't know, moments like, I had actually a good debut because of Chernak as well.
As I was going to say, do you remember anything else from your debut?
And then Chernak actually come on the field after that and ended up scoring, and I was stoked.
So for the people out there, it's Jason Chernak.
He played 20s with us.
And he played reserve grade the day before.
Yeah.
And
Liam Fulton pierced got his lung, and it pierced his lung. So he had a little bleed. So they were like, pretty much, Liam, what size are you? Size 11. Walked outside and said, who's size 11? And and then we're all sitting in the little box at the front, and Jace goes, yeah, I am.
You could just smell the piss on him.
It was just... I'm telling you now, he was drunk.
And he could drink for New Zealand, that
bloke. I'm telling you, Chernak was like still half like blind, and I'm telling you now, he went out there, he done one job. He got the ball, hit this short line, and he scored. I think we were losing 32 to. He scored the first try, and we were all cheering.
Mate,
yeah, we were two people, and everyone's like, "Shut up, pipe it up."
All us 20 boys were going nuts. Yeah, Jace.
And then we're on the field just, I think if I look at the replay, me and Jason like, yeah. And then Robbie Farah, Ben's like, shut up, we're getting fucking pumped. Sorry to swear. But, and then, we get back down the field, and I end up getting a try on debut.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
So that was...
When don't you score, mate? Mate, come on.
So I was part of, I get to say I'm part of that elite club where, I'm blessed to score on debut, and it was actually, it was meant to be another play, but then I seen another opportunity to take under it, and then Faf just kind of threw me the ball and just said, go for it.
What about that season? How many tries did you end up getting that year?
About 8, I reckon.
For front row, for people out there front, that's a huge amount of tries.
Yeah, it's once I got older and older, how hard it was to get a try.
Yeah, people don't understand.
It's a bit different. So, my debut year was awesome. The boys. I know Woodsy was out injured, but
we had a good crew there. Like
we had a mate. It was, to be honest, after reflecting on it, it was the year we should have won it.
Yeah, should have.
We should have won that year, no matter what. Like, it was I remember when Sowie kicked that field goal. There would have been
Oh,
about 13 minutes ago, and I was like, "What an idiot!"
You know what I was going to say to you? Like, the back end of that year, even in the semi-finals, it was like, Tim didn't use you enough.
Yeah,
Were you frustrated about that?
I remember in the first semi.
Because I remember, you know what? I
I felt like I had an input in the game,
yeah.
and I played different. Where we got to that first semi against the Roosters, and he put a debutant on before me,
Benny
with
Murdoch-Masila, yeah.
and I was like, "What is he doing? What's going on?" And then I remember I let it be. I respect the coach. As long as I got my match payment, I was happy days.
Just wants to go party at the
Hey,
beginning.
that's it. I just wanted to, I enjoyed my first year footy, and then I was going to go into his office and ask, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And then Benji come out and said, "Don't worry, Feet, it's already been sorted."
Yep.
And I remember, I ended up playing bigger minutes the week after, and then it was more against Canberra, and then. Because Bags was always said, like, this, you're the reason why we're here. Like, you bring a difference. You're palming, you're
unpredictable.
fending. And to be honest, I remember I was up for Daily M, for Rookie of the Year. And then for the last front row to ever do it, had been a long time. And then we got to St. George game, and Sheensy actually come up and goes, "Look, I'm starting you."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Shit." What? Is this when's the next game? He goes, "No, it's grand final next game. We're in prelims."
Wow.
So this was, I guess, for any front row, this is like the game you would put on. And I think he was more nervous because he had two rookies on the bench.
Yeah, yep.
But his starting pack, his back row, Gareth Ellis.
Oh,
what a player.
People don't understand how good he was.
Mate, even off the field, he was a
nicest
champion.
bloke ever.
That's it. But yeah, that was. I remember when Sowie kicked, and that's what he taught me a lot about game management. He just didn't. It was 13 minutes ago, and he's kicked this field goal. And I was like, "What an idiot!" See at the finish line, idiot. End up winning by 1 point, and it honestly killed it because it was such a force. And I knew going into next year we are going to be guns next year.
Yeah, yep.
Then we got yourself back, and then I got to about mid-season, and I'm not playing. Maybe the game of my life against Newcastle. I think I set the record with it was 16 tackle breaks or something. It was something ridiculous. And I just re-signed that week with yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say, we both signed together because we spoke about it.
So we had I ended up signing for 3 years. And I thought I was getting a pay upgrade because I played so well. And then it was a big, I don't think we can fit you in the cap. So they went another route with Matt Grode, and it is what it is. It must be the best thing for me.
Do you think it was because it wasn't Adam Blair as well?
Yeah, they had Blairy come in the next year, and then they needed to make room in the cap. It was weird because I signed 3 years. I could have just sat there going, "Nah."
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
but after speaking to Moons and that, Daryl Maver had a big part in it.
Yep.
And Moons took advantage of it because he was like, "Oh, we'll take Bryce Gibbs off your hands."
Yes.
Because Bryce Gibbs was on big money if you give us Andrew Fifita.
Oh, so it's sort of like a pack,
It was like a package deal, but to my knowledge, I was asking my manager, "So you're saying no one wants me? No one in this whole comp? Like, what do you mean no one wants me?" He goes, "Yeah, the only team's the Sharks." And to be honest, I hated the Sharks. It was mostly the only team I played. My twin brother went from growing up, and I was just like, what a shithole. I didn't like the area. I didn't like anything to do with Cronulla, and I was just like, so no one wants me at all. And then I end up saying to him, I said, "I'm going to play club footy."
Really?
So I'm done. And he goes, no.
So you were that off it?
Yeah, I didn't want to play the Sharks. It means I had to move over there and shit. It wasn't just me. It just, I said it to him. So
yeah.
I ended up making a move, and it was mostly the best thing.
It was hard the back end of the year too because you didn't play, remember?
I didn't, yeah. I was 80th man. I remember the Warriors game. The Warriors game is where, because the week before, I remember Grody coming back and playing because he wasn't getting much minutes.
Yeah.
He'd come back and play Prems, and then I was just putting him on show every single time. And I was like, what is wrong? What is wrong with me? Something's not there. And I didn't know the politics. If I'm playing better than you, then I have the right to play, first grade. And then I remember 18th man, and it was the first time he hit me. I just had this feeling. So I trained with the boys, pumped them up. Everyone was getting ready, and I was 18th man. So I went into the sheds, had a shower, and then I ended up just in tears and ended up going home.
Really?
It hit me that hard, and then the time I got home, it was like Christian Inu scored that try to win the game. And I was like, no. And that's my season done.
Yeah, and Tigers done.
That was it.
How was it when you first went to Cronulla? Was it different? Like,
to be honest, it felt like home. I had all these Tigers players before me.
that's what I mean.
Two in, I think it was Bomber and Dean Collis, and then the year before was, I think it ended up being myself. Yeah, De Gois, myself, and then Gibbsy come, and then the year after, literally just started going like Aisha and Junior Rajika.
Yes.
And then the following year was
Bo
Ryan.
Ryan, yeah.
So we'll be becoming the Tiger Sharks.
What about your first game for the Sharks?
Oh, mate. I knew they were going to do this. I knew the
mate.
NRL was going to do it because, they seen how many Tigers boys actually went. And I said, I guarantee round one, we're going to face the Tigers.
Yeah.
And I was like, I pray it's going to be at Leichhardt. Don't even at our home ground. Don't even care about frigging Shark Park yet because I never realised how actually special it is to play there.
Yeah.
But one of my favourite fields to play is Leichhardt Oval. I always say this, and it's not the same as it, I reckon, used to be.
No way.
It used to come out, and I remember in 20s, I used to thrive on playing there because the first half, just get the job done. And then I remember coming out in the second half of 20s, and I was like, boys, it's game time, boys. Let's go. Look at this hill.
How good was it?
It was the best. It was, beside nearly slipping over every single time you walk out on the stairs.
How bad's the sheds there?
And then, like, we're grateful. That was it. Like, and going with the Sharks, I was just like, it's going to be at Leichhardt.
Yep.
I hope it's at Leichhardt because I didn't want to play in Campbelltown. No disrespect, but Leichhardt was it. And then to go into a Golden Point thriller, and I was like, and I ended up doing. So it was like the 60-minute. I ended up doing my PCL.
Yep.
And it was your front row. He come from Penrith. What was his name? Matt Bell.
Matty Bell. Yep.
Matty Bell. And I thought I broke his back. I was like, sorry, bud. Happens, eh? Football. And then I went to take off and I dropped. I was like, oh my God, it's me.
Really? Jesus.
So, and I was like, I remember looking at, and we, I think you scored. Not yourself, but like.
I didn't score many, mate. Come on. Not like you.
One of the boys scored, and I said, strap me up. I'm not fucking getting off this game. I want this game hard.
Mate.
And when we went to the Golden Point, I said, what if? The what if moment, if I sprint down here and comes off that upright, what happens?
I was like, no.
Hits the crossbar right in my hands. I'm stepping. I was like, let's go. And then,
I think Toddy Carney did a kick.
He went straight away.
Like play one. But we got a penalty from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously we roll up Phil.
Benji just
is the ugliest looking field goal, but he got it.
So I was like, oh, there goes the dream. But
how bad is it? The worst feeling, isn't it?
It would have been a mad holiday.
How was that year, like being different? Because you obviously always been the Tigers for the last 4 or 5 years.
I come from a winning team into a team that hasn't made the 8, like in a bit. And I was always like, Sharks are always losers. Like they were just always losers for me. They weren't the strongest team, and I just said like, oh, let's try and change a bit. And I got Toddy Carney out there, and I was like, oh, let's have a crack.
Yep.
And then we ended up making, semi-finals. And I was like, we made semis. It's been a good year. It's
so this is
2012.
Yep.
We had a good season. And to be honest, they were I think the bottom ladder the year before.
Yeah, they were, because they signed a couple of good players, yourself and that.
So they were building, and that's what I said. And with Toddy coming home, made it so much easier with us. He was a major signing for us, but plus, Take It Easy, myself, Isaac De Gois.
You already had Toops and Gow there.
Toops and Gow was already there. Jeremy Smith.
Yeah, what a player.
So we're actually building. It was a really good building core. And then, we went into 13 pretty much with, all right, I think this is the team.
You had a great year in 13, didn't you?
13, we had an awesome year.
Yeah. And then it was 14 was the
peptide
SADA
stuff.
How was that? How was that? Because you obviously weren't involved in that because you weren't there. The period
I was a year too late.
Not that you needed it, mate.
If I was there.
You would have come out looking like
Could have been back to myself.
How was it for the group? Especially if it was hard.
Would you it's hard to explain because I don't think in rugby league history this would ever be. Imagine going into your team and then you're starting to get decimated. Like, there goes your coaching staff. We had five of our coaching staff gone. And you see it. I scored the first game against Gold Coast Tornadoes. And I end up pointing out the box going, 5 members. You've taken 5 of our people out and now you're stuck with this in 14. All right, done. And then throughout the year, headline after headline after cameras being at front, and you just watch players walk. Next one's walked. Next one's walked. And then we started with the injuries. A
Yeah.
lot of injuries started coming. I was
You got injured yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a lot of injuries that year. I come off World Cup. I wasn't due back till Feb, and then by RPA, yeah, and I snapped my arm
Yeah, yeah.
at the end of the year. And that was me. But like before even that, we had players playing for us where I didn't even know their name. If you were affiliated with the club, if you just walked past, sharp past, said, "Hey, you want to play? Let's come play."
It was that bad.
It was that bad. Like we had 20s kids playing. Like had no idea.
Wow.
I didn't go to. There was a Cowboys game where they versed a full fit, and DJ ended up going up there with them, and
Was that Daniel Holdsworth?
yeah, Daniel Holdsworth, and the team was just like, bro, who's it? It was pretty much our under-20s team with a vet of a half. That was it.
So who coached and
So we had Flano at the start.
Yep.
He got the brush.
So he got the 12-month suspension.
And then I went to Peter Sharp.
Yeah, Sharpie.
Sharpie was there. He was there, and then got too hostile, so he left.
Oh yeah.
And then we ended up getting an under-20s coach to come up and coach us.
Wow.
So it was like trying to keep us players, but you got to think about it. If you were there in 2011, you're suspended. So we lost a good chunk of our team. They were gone.
Yep.
They just went on holidays.
And our big names too, like Wade Graham,
Wado, Boogs, and we had like Isaac, Ikey Gordon, like Johnny Morris. There was a big chunk of our team.
Mate, all your core leaders.
We didn't know what to do.
Wow.
Pretty much, I'm looking at the West Tigers. Like it was our
So
West Tigers locker room.
What was it like when you were training? Like, did you
It was just honestly, it was a piss take.
really?
Like it was like we were playing club footy, and there was no one happy. There was one stage in the rehab group.
Yeah.
Was our starting 13, except for Flash Gordon.
Wow.
So that's how actually tough it got, and it was just like don't know what to do.
Honestly.
So it come to it, and towards the end of the year, I ended up snapping my arm and had a really rough time off the field because I've gone from like the incumbent, pretty much the world's best. I was up there with with Golden
Just won a
Boot
World Cup.
talks. Yeah, just won a World Cup. Played all the Origin. I set the record for like 36 or 7 games in the one season. I come off a really high year to this.
Wow.
And everyone was saying, and everyone asked me like, when was your best year? And I said, look, I'm not a stat man, but by stats, 2014.
Yeah.
I was running over 200-something meters.
Wow.
I was kicking to the winger. I was actually trying to do everything I can just to and it just nothing was happening.
Was there any moments that you thought as a club that it might fold? Because there was talk, wasn't there?
Was every day.
Yeah.
Every day there was something new. We'll move into Perth. We'll move into Central Coast. We're going to go be with North Sydney Bears. It was non-stop. Wow. So we couldn't even, they were saying, don't worry about the outside noise. How can we not worry about outside noise? We've lost 3 coaches. We've lost all our half our team. And then all these players are in rehab. And then we're looking at players that play in first grade who's not even in the team.
So how was your life at home, mate? Because you just said you've come off one of the best years you've ever had in your life. And then you got to go back. You're reading all this stuff in the media that you could be relocated to Perth. Yeah. You could be,
And then, I think the hardest thing for me was I've never, ever had adversity.
Yeah.
And I always said in 20s, I want to be the Benji Marshall of the team.
Yep.
I wanted to be him. And then when I got to him,
not as good as it looks, is it?
Bro, I copped it every day. Oh, what's he doing? I was the main player playing in that year. And it was always, he's the Aussie player in that team. He's doing nothing. He's doing this. I copped it off by all the media. I copped it, and then I couldn't help injuries. And I never had a preseason, so it was kind of like, I get back from England and you get 1 month with your family, and that was it.
Yeah.
My first week at training was, you want to play Auckland Lions? Yeah, sweet, done.
Wow.
That was my first week. So that was February or the last week of January.
And people at home, they don't know that 6 or 7 week pre-Christmas, that gives you the big base.
Yeah.
Everyone's trained hard. They're getting fit.
Well, that's
they're
your
getting
pre-season,
strong.
man.
Yeah.
Everyone always talks about it, especially with club footy now. Like, what's the difference? Like, why aren't you sore going into, after games that now?
Yeah.
So, mate, go run in a brick wall. Everyone's built like that in NRL. And then go and run into the Teletubbies out here. No one's hit the gym. There might be 1 or 2 who actually hit the gym, but not every day like NRL players.
And then, so talk to us. Obviously, Flano comes back in 15.
Yeah.
All the boys.
Yeah.
What's that like the first moment they all come in?
Oh, relief.
Yeah.
Flano brings back. The best thing he did, literally, was he brought Mick Ennis.
Yep.
So at the end of, I was meant to go to the Dogs.
Yes.
I was meant to sign with the Dogs in 14. I ended up signing with the Dogs. So another big drama in that. But I'm so glad it backfired because Des was backing Mick Leisha and he brushed Michael Ennis.
Wow.
Michael Ennis is like, and I played with some decent hookers. Cam Smith, I played with literally, if you're talking the best hookers in the game,
Yeah,
I've been
Farah,
All
Smith.
Stars, Farah, Smith. And he was like, I don't know, I can't explain his work ethic, his knowledge of the game. I learned so much.
Yeah.
All these people that, have the input, he's up there with one of the best.
Yeah.
And he was what really took my front row's knowledge of a game.
Yeah.
He honestly made it to perfection because he was like, all right, he pulled me aside the first day. He goes, Drew, I need to know some stuff about you.
Mm-hmm.
And goes, walk with me on the field. We're coming out of the 20. And he goes, how do you want your ball right here? And I was like, what do you mean? Just throw me the ball. And he goes, no. Do you want it on your chest? Do you want it a bit lower so you're running onto it? Like I need to know. And I was like, shit, all right.
Yeah.
I go, I like it most probably outside the B play so I can skip.
Yep.
Or if they're a bit like wide at A, I like to take off behind the ruck.
Yep.
And he goes, all right, keep moving with me. We're going all the way up the field and he's asking all these questions like, all right, what over here in defense? Like, do you ever go low? Because I'll go low and I want you to be high, but I don't want to overdo it. And I was like, mate, okay, you really tripping me out right now. Like, what are we doing? It's football. And he goes, yeah, but I'm a perfectionist and this is how I get down. I was like, shit. He goes, now let's talk business.
Yeah.
Down near the try line. Oh, no, I was like,
hit me, baby.
Shut up. Just
hit me
get
short.
me the ball. And you know what? I always think about this. Okay, he must have had the same speech with Louis.
Yep.
Mickey and Louis' combination, like Louis would have scored 1,000 tries off Michael Ennis.
Yep.
And all this little stuff he was asking me, do you like to go down low so you can go under the people? Every little bit, he goes, all right, when we're skipping out, I want to give you on the outball, so I want you to go take off a bit faster. He goes, don't worry about the ball.
Yeah.
It's going to be on your chest and it's going to be fast.
Wow.
So they're not coming up. I was like, mate, this guy is a freak.
So your time at Cronulla, do you think he is, or do you think in the whole Cronulla history, he's one of the most important signings?
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
Mate, I put him, he would definitely be, well, we had Groover. Groover's like, he brings his knowledge, but Michael Ennis is he was the key.
You reckon he's like the glue?
The glue for what we needed.
Wow.
So, we had some great dummy halves, and don't get me wrong. I always said, in 13, I loved attacking with Johnny Morris because I knew he would jump out and take a few, and he just was the attacker. But in defense, you get me eyes at the Goys, and, mate, he bangs.
Yeah.
I love Goisy when it comes down. So there was two different players. With Michael, we kind of had a deal, right? And I knew what he was like because I hated him. I hated Mickey when he played. We didn't even play him. I hated it. I wanted to punch his head in. I was keen for anything.
I don't think you're the only one.
And then to meet him, he was a champion.
Mate, can I say something? He's our assistant coach at Manly. He's one of the nicest blokes you'll ever meet.
Has he? So,
mate, he used to drive me nuts. I love him.
In 15, right, the game before round 1, and we're doing a jersey preso for Mick, and he said this speech.
He's got a great speech.
Oh, mate, he loves talking. When he talks, everyone listens. He's like nutting it out, like the gameplay and all this. I can't wait just to do this. One of the boys gets up. Let's go on the field now. Let's go. Let's go. And I was like, I need this before the game. And, mate, you knew when Mickey was present. So 10 minutes before, we're going out or team talk or something, he's already chirping. He started chirping.
Mate.
He just knew.
So, just with Manly, with Mick, so he looks after the blokes that train against first grade.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, he gives a big Herculean speech every time. They play better than they do on the weekend.
Oh,
it's unbelievable.
Mate, that's it. You know what it's like? But you know what it's like? I've always been on that opposite team when even we'll go into it later on.
He gets the boys up for it, mate.
I used to love that.
Tuesday morning at 9:30 in the morning and the blokes are flying into first grade.
Yeah, we're the B team. Let's go, boys. Let's prove ourselves.
Oh, he's so good. But then back to that 2016 year, did you win 17 or 18 straight? Was it? I think, was it?
16 and a half.
Oh, because you had the draw.
We had the draw.
That's right.
And then when we were on a rough little trot.
But what was it like when you were winning those games in the 16?
Oh, it made us so much easier. You know what it's like. How good's winning? We always had them, but
it dictates your week.
That's it.
Yeah.
We knew no matter what they threw at us, we'll get the job done.
Wow.
We just had that arrogancy. By the end of it, we didn't just go 3. It wasn't just 6. It just started getting easier and easier. But like, don't get me wrong, everyone was rocking up to play with us.
Yep.
And it could have been we won by 1 point. Like, but we didn't, who cares?
Yep.
Still a win on
2
the board.
points.
That's it. And we just kept going and going and nutting it out. Like, it was actually it came to a point where we're just like, we're talking. We could win this.
Wow.
And then we got in mid-season. We're like, literally, we could win this.
Well, that's what I was going to say. When did the belief actually really kick in that you know you got something special here?
Yeah, literally about
Any
after round
games?
15.
Yeah.
After round 15, I can't think to an exact game.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there was going to be a rough patch for us, and it really was after that. So we went up to the Titans. We played up there in the wet, and we ended up drawing. And I was like, all right, we versus the Titans up there, and we had way more fans there. Like, the Titans were getting booed in this. So I was like, wow. That's how you know your team's actually going really good. And we ended up drawing with them. The next week, we ended up losing, and it started, I think we lost about 4 or 5 in a row. It was
really?
like, we were starting to come down, but we were so far up the table where it didn't really
So you
matter.
had games, like you were up, you had a couple of games you could, you know.
And then, the last 2 rounds, we ended up beating Canberra back down here at home.
Yep.
And it kind of got like, we are a force.
Because they were a top 4 side, weren't they?
They ended up going like the last 10 in a row or something.
Yep.
They were going really good. And time we got semis, we were in the right state of mind, the right physique. Everyone was going really well. And then we kind of got to the semis and was just like, yeah, we actually have a chance.
So obviously you're a bloke that's won a comp.
But it would come down that last round.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
So what happened?
So if we come first, like we beat Melbourne last round.
Yep.
Home semi, plus minor premiership.
Yep.
But if we lost, we dropped to 3rd.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Canberra comes 2nd.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, and that week was most probably the biggest week. I went and visited a mate in jail, and that was the arm stuff.
Yep.
And it was the first time I went and see my mate since 2011, 2012 maybe. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I went and seen Kiz. Mum reached out to me and said, like, he's going to kill himself.
Yep.
And I was like, what? No. And I've just gone through my whole rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Everyone knew I was going through some mental health stuff, and I was at the end of it, and I really started. All right.
So you know what he's going through.
That's it. So I went up there with Pinky, went up there with Cessnock, had a yarn with him, and we just started out, and I just reinforced him that, like, you know, and it was the hardest thing for anyone to do because no one, like, you know, I don't know what it's like, but someone had to forgive him, and I forgave him.
Yep.
Like, I know what he's done is wrong, but you know, I had to save his life. It comes to something like that.
Yeah.
It was most probably that week we got to about midweek. We're going for minor premiership.
Yep.
And then Flano, one of the staff friends, I think it was Noxie, said, "Big dog, you need to go." And I was like, "Why?" And then Flano come over to me and goes, "You got to go." And I was like, "Where am I going?" He goes, "Go home." And I go, "Straight home?" He goes, "Yeah, because the cops are coming here to arrest you." And I was like, "Shit."
Arrest you?
I go, "What for?" And then they arrested me for conspiracy. No, they arrested me for, my mind's gone blank now.
That's all right.
The can't affiliate with bikies.
Oh, the affiliation.
Yeah, kind of, but there's a word. I forget what it's called. Anyways, I get home and they're all through my house.
Wow.
And I've just gone in and said, "What the fuck is all doing here? Like,
really?
Get out the front."
Jesus.
And then
so this is going into that
this
Melbourne
is going
game.
in that Melbourne game. I said, "What's going on?" And then, man, then it happened. It literally, like, I ended up moving out west that week. Like, I was in my home.
Yep.
But the media just sat there all night. We were just a caged animal, just sitting there, just watching all these media just at the front, just camping up, waiting for one of my family to come out. It was pretty.
And so all you've done at this period is just to go see him and just a health check, just
Yeah.
to make sure his mental health is right.
That was the main thing. So
Wow.
it wasn't right. I remember going to the airport and meeting the boys so I went in secretly.
Yep.
And I said, "I'll meet you there. I'll find my own way." All the media, you know, at the front of the airport, they can't get in.
Yep.
And then I ended up going about 7 a.m.
Oh, wow.
The boys got there about 10:30. So I was sitting in there for a fair while.
Mm-hmm.
I had a mate with me. He just sat with me for a while.
Yep.
And then I was just rugged up in the corner, just on my phone, just
Yep.
chilling. And then the boys come in, and no one seen me. And then one of the news reporters followed him in and come grab the camera, it was all this. And every single time I ran the next night, it was just boo, boo, boo. And then we copied it. And then I kind of made a statement from then on. I was like, because we went out with a loss. There was two things that happened that night. For me, and what got my back out, like I haven't done nothing wrong.
Yep.
I said to my wife, I had to fly out. I got on the first flight 6 a.m.
Yep.
And all the boys were flying out at maybe 10 or something, normal recovery.
Mm-hmm.
But they snuck me out, and it was, once again, the media were waiting for me.
Yep.
Especially in Sydney, once they knew I was on the flight.
Okay.
I ended up going a secret way out and went back home, and then I said, Nick, meet me at your mum's. I ended up getting the train because I knew no media's going to come on the train.
Yep.
I went down the station, all the way down, and went straight down so they couldn't get me.
It's not like you're a little bloke that can hide.
Oh,
either.
that's it. I was hooded up. I had my bag, and no one ever noticed me. Like, last thing they're going to expect that you're going on a public transport. So I got the train all the way out to Windsor, and I said, Nick, grab me, we're going to your mum's. We're staying here. That's it. I don't want the drama. I don't want anything.
Wow.
So we stayed there, and I said, look, Nick, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, this is bullshit.
Yep.
Okay, if we lose, it's my fault. And I really took over, like I was capable enough to dictate the way the score would be. If I had a really good game, then I could. Flanners already praised me enough to be in that position where, it could be. And the fact that Mick Ennis got told, enjoy retirement, this your last game and all this, and we won't see it in the semis and all that. And that was by a Melbourne player. Well, I'm not going to say Melbourne player. Who it was, because
Sure, we know who it was.
Yeah. And it was so, for that, it was me. It was like, okay,
It's personal now.
it's very personal.
Yeah.
And then once we went in that first week of semis, it was.
Well, do you reckon that playing Canberra, so you lose that game against Melbourne, so you finished third in the end. Do you reckon playing Canberra in Canberra was a blessing that you could get out of Sydney and go down there as a team?
Yeah, definitely. For me personally, because I was out west, travelling out, coming back, and then I was like, let's get down there a bit early. And he goes, no, you know what? We'll go the night before. Fuck it, we'll just keep it real.
Oh, beautiful.
But the thing was, we walk in the captain's run, and, we already lost a player, and then Gal's on the bed going, oh, my back.
Yeah, he did his back.
Coward. He's a coward. He always come to me when I was injured and that. I need you, big boy. You got to play. You got to play. And he's on his back going, my back. And I was
so he didn't play that,
he didn't play. He didn't play. So we were going down there just with, all of us. We get, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, you're a, but look, I'm going to swear and say you're a fucking cat.
No, we know Gal. He's one of the tough. He's a tough human.
Because I knew if you win, you get the week off.
That's it.
Mate, it was a blessing. So we went down there, and I remember Jesse come in, San Lafayette.
Yep.
And we had someone else out, so Kurt Capewell come in on debut.
Was Capewell debuting that game? Wow.
He debuted. He ended up playing a mad game. Boy, ask him, Capey, come on. How many offloads you got off me and made breaks?
Capey's already told me it was his best game.
Oh, it was his best game in the world, man. I'm telling you. You can't ask for a better
Because you lose Wade Graham in the first...
the first 11 minutes.
Wow.
So Capey went out to the edge and just said, Capey, enjoy it. It'll be no better. But they sat us on that field. Like when we first went out there, they do the big old...
Oh, the Viking clap.
Yeah. Look, if I played for Canberra, I'd love that.
I'd be so good.
It'd be fucking hectic, your whole fans and that going off. I was like, yeah, this is mad. I'm pretty sure it was the first year they bring it in.
Oh, no way.
And then we were sitting on the field. Like, we were just waiting and said, what the hell's going on? I ended up sitting on the ground.
So they're
we'll wait. We'll wait. And and that game, I guess, Priz, myself, we actually, our forwards done a job where,
best
got the job done. It was the best ever.
That's one of the best games I've seen an individual, Matt Pryor.
Yeah. We end up having, Priz just killed it. Our other leaders everyone just stood up.
Yep.
We lost Wado. There goes another leader.
Yep.
It was Groover, myself, Mick Ennis, Priz, let's get the job done. I know we had the boys. We had, Chatty barking orders. Chatty ended up getting hooked.
Yeah, he got hooked, didn't he? Yeah.
And they put Birdie in the halves, and I was like, fuck, here we go. There's going to be big dramas moving forward. And I said, you know what? It is what it is. We got the job done. And literally, they started throwing cans or Woodstock full one come at me and just grabbed it, just over the thanks, bud.
You know the great pictures of Mick Ennis when he's doing the Viking clap to him?
Yeah, so I think he was doing an interview, and then we're already there going, where's your mouths and all this, and then Mick Ennis comes in, the boys, and we're on a high, man. Like we
100%.
weren't meant to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
The team we threw out there, literally, like we should have lost by 40.
Yep.
But we went down there with the belief that we always had that whole year, and we got the job done.
And then
in Canberra,
like you said before, you just get that week off.
Yeah.
You smoke the Cowboys. Like that wasn't.
Yeah, that's different motivation. I was saying, like, look, all I want to do is go to England.
Oh, really?
So top 2 teams go to England. You know, at the start, I was like, I just want to go to the UK.
Yep.
We win this, boys. We're going to the UK. So, Flano, we're going to the UK in the preseason. He goes, definitely. It's business class the whole way over there. When you play some random team that comes second or just a team over there.
How good.
So how good's that holiday? We get over, we get a bit of preseason off. I was doing anything to get preseason off.
So you pumped the Cowboys. I think it was like 44.
Yeah, it was a good slogging, and you know I was watching the older boys go off, and I was looking at the boss going, "Flano, get me off.
Come on, mate.
Come on, we're in the grand final. You get me off. I do not want to get injured." And you felt that last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, we're going to win this, but
just run this bloody clock out.
Oh, hurry up. Hurry up. I want to play a grand final without getting injured. It was the best ever. I was like feeling every niggle. Yep. It was like, if I had to put it down, like when I made my Origin debut, I had the Monday night game.
Did you?
And we found out on the Sunday.
Disgusting.
It was, everyone's like, 30 grand if you win. I was
the same.
This is bullshit.
How bad
and then Flano goes, look, you can go out there and just play like a fairy and just run around and like not get hurt so you can get your big matchy, or you can have a go. And me and Sam Burgess had this, I don't know what it was, but it was a moment where I took I said, look, I respect you, and he respected me from that moment on.
Yeah, nice.
Because we just went hammer and tongue at each other.
Funny, mate. how many Origin games have you played, mate? Come on. 30K's not bad, too.
Oh, mate, 30K, baby.
Oh, mate. So talk to us, what was the GF week like? And then the funny thing, so before, talk about World doing a 180, you've got Melbourne again. So you've lost to them when 20s GF. Now we're going to the big time. Yeah. NRL, grand final. Talk to me.
Well, we're going in that game, and I actually said something after the game.
Yep.
And it just flared this big media cycle back up. So it was on the lines of some media guy said, so you don't regret what you did? And I was just like, how can you regret when you've already done it?
Yeah.
So the headlines next day, you can already see what it's going on. Fed has no regrets doing it. Freeing his mate, he's killed someone. And I was like, mate, fuck. So I couldn't really embrace the week.
Yep.
You know, you get your footy show opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
They can ask questions and all that. And I was just put in the back.
Mm-hmm.
You go for the big breakfast, and then pretty much just was like, had a security next to me. No, you can't talk to him. So I didn't really get to enjoy the week.
It was a bit of a pain in the backside, eh?
But Flano always said, look, he goes, I've never been here, boys, but like, just hydrate.
Yeah.
It's a big week. Embrace it. So we all did.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm not going to lie, it is a big week, but I loved every minute of it. It was one of those things where I was thinking in my head, look, 14 other teams are absolutely gone. But down to us two, it's going to, who wants it more? And I remember sitting there just going, fuck, this is it. Like, this is, you can either win or lose. And, you know, this is, don't come very often.
Yep.
And it was just that, speaks for itself. Like, we went the captain's run, and he was like, let's do captain's run. And he goes, you know what? Flano just goes, what do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, do you want to stay in a hotel in the city, hotel in Homebush? Everyone was just like, no, let's stay home.
Beautiful.
So it was different. It was like we ended up meeting down at the Little Sharks Academy.
Yep.
And just got on a bus and just went in from there. We got escorted all the way there. It just felt right. And for me, I don't like going out before the game.
Yep. I
don't like to go see how the grass is.
Yeah.
I don't like to go see who's playing to see what's going on. I don't know. I like music. Don't mess with me and my music.
Yep.
I like watching stuff and just having a laugh and see with the boys and trying to make them smile, because I know some are real serious and they're like, some boys like relax, bro.
So tense, eh?
I know, we've got ages before we run on this field. You got enough time during the warm up to pump up, you know, and we're warming up inside. I hated warming up inside because you don't get a feel of the like. You want to like run some on the grass and get a feel for the atmosphere out there. And I never realised how actually big it was until thing. And then I remember going past like a lot of key signs in the Shire, and all around the Shire we had this slogan of like, why not?
Yep.
And I kept going past every single one, going like, why not? Like, why? Let's. And then I ended up the year before at knockout. I was like, I don't want to be here.
Yep.
I remember, sorry boys, I won't be playing next year. I'll be winning a comp with my team. Like in the old jokes, you can go back to my Instagram, you can see it with the knockout boys and that, and everyone's like, yeah, whatever. And then we ended up doing it, but that day before I had to run on and run off the field so I can qualify for the Monday.
Oh, wow.
This is Corey knockout stuff you had to. So I know I had the world's biggest game, but I had to run on the field and run off.
You're an idiot. You're a knucklehead.
No, is that not the meaning even though? I was like, yeah, this is the best. Everyone asked me, this David. Nah. And then because you can't qualify. So I said, Dave, get me the Monday. And knockout means the world to me as well.
Yep.
But jumped on, jumped off, sat on the bench, and he's got the job done. So yeah, I ended up going, when we were at the game, it was just the feeling that around the boys, when we got off the bus, you could hear the scream.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, shit, this is going to be mad.
Wow.
And I wasn't nervous. I don't get nervous for games. I never am. It was more, there's most probably going to be more Melbourne fans.
Yep.
You look around Sydney, there's hardly no Shark fans, you know? And then when we first ran out, I seen a sign and it said, let's make history.
Oh, wow. Yep.
And I was like, fuck, we are winning this game. I said, there it is. There it is. I'm watching all these signs going, why not? All these fans going, why not? Why not? And then you see when we're running out, let's make history. There's a photo of me going to whack it. And I was like, yeah, baby, we are winning this. And then I just had this, I don't know. And then the game pans out the way it was. And then Mick Ennis gave us a big speech. He goes, no one, just kick off, get down, and let's keep him in the 20 and let him kick long. And we're going to really grind it out. The first run, we get him down there. Kickoffs happen. We end up dragging him back literally maybe a bee's dig out from the line. And he just stays in. And what does Mick Ennis do? Comes from left, right in, head-eyed.
It was Marika.
Yeah. I think no. It was like, I don't think it was Marika. It was one of their forwards. And he just smashed him up top. And I was like, oh, really? Look after yourself. I could have did that. I was like, yeah, thanks, Mick.
Oh, good start, mate.
But I think he just wanted to say, like, we're not here to play.
Yep.
We're, if you're going to run at me,
it's on.
Fuck, be ready.
So later on in the game, so you pretty much were leading the whole way.
So, yeah, we had one job, all right, literally. Our back five, find Cam Smith.
So, because he made like 60-odd tackles.
That was literally the goal. Like for us to win, let's take the living gas out of him and just run it. Every back five, we had Val going, Fecky going, then Ricky Lutelli, and then Birdie was just finding him every time. I was like, bro, this poor guy. And then you see, like, Matt Pryor, I always credit we were a duo.
Yep.
And I always say we weren't individual players, we were a partnership made in heaven. Mm-hmm. Because he was a defender and he would line speed off and just smack anyone.
He was so good.
And then in D, I used to run twice in attack.
Yeah.
If I was, I felt like I had to do Pryor's run and then my run. It was just the motive I had. Like
it was a great balance.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
He goes, I've got you. Like no matter what. And Gal just, whatever. Gal was Gal.
1,000 tackles.
He's there. But just that first half was flawless from us. So I must admit, like we had a lot of the ball. We kept the ball in. It was the first time that footy felt like it was like nonstop.
Really?
Yeah. And
because you didn't get much of a break that night either.
Nah. So I don't know if I can say it. I remember. Do I say it or Woodsy? You want yours to be like, fuck. All right.
No.
A player told someone to get him off the field and get him on.
Yes, that's how you say it.
Bring that person back on the field right now. Because I was meant to, so the 30th mark, 30 minutes. So Priz went off at 15 or so, brings on a fronty so I can replace Priz back on that
30,
middle bit.
You need one of yous on at the same time.
I went to go off and Gal's running off going, I can't do it. And he had shingles all week. The guy was in hospital.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the grand final week.
Oh, Jesus.
And he was like, oh, I'm going off. And I was like, oh, no, fuck this. I was gassed. I was literally in the first half, and then I gone off about like the 35th minute, the 36th minute. I was actually thinking I'm doing Gal's stint.
Yep.
And then he ended up coming back on, literally, like it was 5 minutes after half time.
Yep.
And I was like, shit.
Wow.
I said, I don't know if I get, like I'm going to get it. Because it was like we had all the ball too.
Yeah.
So we were just
It was like a flawless half from you guys. Yeah.
And then it just, the tide changed after that when Jesse went and scored.
Yep.
So I remember when Benny said they had that plan, but the week before, I ended up running off the scrum and going to offload, and pass by pass, we scored.
Yep.
And then you just see when Melbourne just pointing, Andrew's going, they're going to do the play again, do the play, and everyone just took off, and then Benny had a
Straight away.
dream run.
Yeah, straight through.
So, and that was just all, I knew how much video work they would do.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm coming off the scrum, you never see a front row running off the scrum.
You knew exactly what's coming.
So they all just took off, but sneaky, Chad didn't even know what was going on.
Did later on in the game, was it Will Chambers that scored to get him in front?
Yeah.
So at that moment in the game, what are you saying behind the huddle next to the post?
We knew where we were going wrong. It was everyone just, and Groover had his thing like, everyone drop your shoulders, do not say a word, and just breathe. All right, and Mickey just pretty much said, look, why are we trying to go around him and do all this other fancy stuff when let's go through him again?
Yep.
And then, we kind of got back on track, and then just kept trying to find their keys, man. Like, honestly, we're going from Cameron Smith to Cooper Cronk.
Yep.
Then coming back, and we're having another crack at Cooper Cronk.
Yep.
It was just like one of those things. And then I was actually, before Chatty got chinned, like head-eyed down there, I was trying to come off. I was like, Drew, I don't know, man. And then Price was in me going, don't be a cat. You got this. And I was like, bro, I'm gassed. I literally, I don't know what was said at half time, but like I had 4 corks, maybe 5 corks in my quads. I don't know. They just kept whacking it. And I was like, I can't walk, man. Like it's starting to bulk up. And then once Chatty got chinned, and I guess it just happened.
Come on. Talk to us about one of the greatest.
The greatest Cronulla try history in the world.
One of the greatest. One of the greatest front row tries in the
front row, man. The greatest Cronulla try. I don't care. And I told Ronnie every single time, you just want to score. I don't care who you got. You can get Andrew Eddinghausen's best try out and run 200 metres there, back, and score the try. I still won't be better, bro.
Doesn't mean as much.
I think the meaning means it all. Like, so we're going in, and then I think it was, he should have hit me the play before, because I went through and I was filthy. I was like, fuck. That was the opportunity we missed. Yep. And normally he hits me. Like, I think it was off Priz, and he held it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going around, and I think we laid one more. I think it was Gow. And then we had a screaming out 9 Tiger.
Yep.
9 Tiger is like, you drop one, you run the lead, but out the back.
Yeah.
I'm looking at and I mean, Mickey's giving me the nod.
So you knew it was on.
When Mickey gives you the nod, it's you're getting the fucking ball. There's no one else in the world getting the ball.
Yeah.
I look up, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there's 7, 8. I'm like, bro.
A bit short.
So if I don't care, if I'm running hard, surely he's going to go at the back and get, like, we literally had, if you look at the highlight, we have maybe 4 or 5 on friggin' 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter what. And I can see, like, Chatty's blowing up, and Jimmy, they see it.
Yeah. And
then I just know when Mickey gives you a nod, it's fucking ramp up. Let's have a crack. And then when Mickey threw me the ball, and then you can see I'm down low, I actually thought I was scoring on the first one. So I went to go put it down, but Welsh's knee was like coming out like that, and I couldn't get the ball down like that.
Oh, really?
So it's why I spun the other way.
Oh.
And then when I got around there, it was like slow motion for me.
Yep.
When I got around there, I couldn't get the ball down.
Because it's an awkward way you put it down.
Yeah. I was like, I'm stuck, but I can't get it down. I'm a big popper.
Yeah, you're a big boy.
Big story before the game. Well, you didn't want to see the scales.
No way.
Oh, yeah, and I was like, I can't get it. And then Cam Smith just comes over trying to hit the ball, and he's hit my hand.
Yep.
And it's hit it down.
Wow.
And I was like, fuck. First thing I said, fuck your 20s grand final. I'm taking this shit over. And then, but like, the thing was, Mickey seen it, Priz seen it, and then everyone else running in. Oh, did you really get it? You knocked it on. Gow didn't believe me. Wade didn't believe me. And I was like, nah, fuck, I got it down. Wow. And the first thing I wanted was my family. Because of like what I've been through and that. And they just got back from England that week, and I was just humming. I was like, all right, now I got enough gas to get me. But I ended up going back, and they cut the thing because I was like doing these shush things. You shut up. You shut up. And then I had that voice, but yeah, it was most probably the best. Yeah, I always preempt, like, if I ever made a grand final, I wanted my name on that. You know, you see like the score when you got your little name on the sheet for my kids to see.
Oh, how good's that?
I always wanted something like that, and to get it done.
It'll never get taken off.
It won't get taken off. So there was that. Yeah, it was funny enough, like, because you can ease back before the game. Because Flannel was like, you need to hydrate through the week. So I normally play at 126.
Yes.
All right? I'm sitting there, like, for the game. And every big bopper does this. And don't tell me you don't do it because you're guilty. And I'm the only one who really does it. And you're looking around, and on there, you jump on the scales. And I just went, what the fuck? I was 129 kilos.
3 kilos overweight.
I was 3 kilos overweight. I was like, what the fuck? I've been really, really good this week.
You hydrated?
I was so hydrated. Oh, that's what I put it down to. But I'm looking
So,
at the scale going, what the fuck? And then, because it can put you off your game.
Yeah, it can. It can massively.
And then I just looked at the first one. I said, wait till you try and tackle this. I put it down to power size.
Can I ask, did you write down 129 or 126 on the sheet?
No, I brushed it. Didn't write nothing. But any other game, 126.9.
Who cares? Look, it's a GF.
That was the best thing. And I said, like, you're going to see power coming out.
Oh, mate. And then so talk to us about the celebration, because there was all that thing about you can turn the porch light off once you bring the trophy home.
Yeah, it was big chat. That was all. It was more ads than that. I didn't even get what it meant.
Yeah,
it was there. It was such an NRL thing.
Yep.
Turn the lights off and all this kind of stuff, because I didn't understand it. I was like, what the hell are they talking about?
Yep.
And then Gal said it. He understood it, bro. He was 40 when he won the comp. But he understood it. But I was like, bro, I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. Yeah. And I remember because soon I won it, gave Gal a hug and went straight to my family.
Yep.
Because I was in, like, for me, that time and that whole time, like, didn't really get to embrace with my team as much as I wanted to, because of the stuff I was going through off the field.
Yeah, that's right.
So I remember grabbing my brother, and Dave was there. I know my wife and that were up in the crowd, but I was just like, nah, Dave.
Yep.
I just wanted him, and then
who's your twin, mate?
Kind of smacked me and goes, what are you doing here? You're getting me in the match. Get over there. And I was like, no. I'm just going to stay here. I'll get my ring when they call me up.
Yep.
And they were just like, no, you're going to get me in the match. Go. And I was like, no. Fuck that.
Yeah. Nah, what a moment for you and your family, especially everything you've been through.
Yeah.
So. And then for Dave to be back there, what an awesome feeling.
Yeah.
Did you know he was back, or?
So he always said, like, I can't make it because their season goes a bit longer.
Yes.
He goes, I can't make it unless you make the grand final. So you want to make the grand final and get to watch it play.
Wow. How good.
But the thing was, Dave played half that year. Then he went in.
Oh, because he went halfway
through.
Yeah, that's right. He
had
did
his
too.
knee.
Yeah.
He got a staph infection. He got golden staph on top of his kneecap. And he kind of winning, so he couldn't get back in the team.
Another one I'd love to know, Fif, about you. Obviously, you won a World Cup with Australia in 2013. That was right?
Yeah.
In 2017, we both made the World Cup squad.
Yeah.
So you come to the medical.
Nah. Oh, yeah.
You come to the medical.
Yeah.
And then wasn't Wado supposed to pick you up?
Yeah.
You knew what you were doing.
No, well, you know what? Like, it was hard. It started mid-test. You did your hemi.
Yep.
And then I was already done the promo work for Tonga.
Yep.
I did everything for the mid-test.
Yep.
And I said, like, to get... They said I wasn't mature enough to go on tour for 2016 tour over in England.
Aussies, yep.
The 16.
But that's still got to do with that.
And I had,
because
of that. And they were like, it's because you have a case. And I was like, what case? There's no case.
Yeah.
So it was to some personnel in that team that did not want me going on that tour.
Yep.
So I said, look, you know what? Sweet, have it. I said, I don't really care. I grabbed the trophy and done a tour back down in Griffith.
Yep.
Went back over to New Zealand and done his tour. I said, I couldn't care less about your tour.
Yep.
But I did want my green and gold jersey back. I lost it in 2014. I knew how hard it was, and it was the end of the road to get it. I went back into rehab at the end of Christmas. So I missed Christmas with the kids and that, because that was the end goal.
Yep.
And I went in, like, on the highest moment. You won the comp. You had a big input in the game. You have to go into rehab. So it was kind of that. 3 months later, we're versing you down at Leichhardt. There's big talk that, we're going to be playing in the Aussie team together and all this kind of stuff. And you end up doing your hemi. And I was filthy because kind of reunited me and yourself back together.
It's been a while.
Origin,
it's been a while.
We're playing Origin together and that. But, like, it just, to play with someone that you started with and especially for your country, you end up doing your hemi. And then I got back in the team.
You got back in the team, yep.
And I was like, so 3 months ago, I'm not mature enough to come, like, in your Aussie team, but now I am.
You know what's funny? Mao rang me.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm thinking of playing Andrew Fifita. I was like, no shit, why wouldn't you? I said, mate, he's the best front runner in the game. And he's like, I just think, there's been a lot of media talk about him the last 12 months. He's just grown up. And I was like, mate, he's the best player in the game, and what you do, Mao, is you pick the best players. So he was a big advocate of you, man.
Yeah. And I think Mao kind of similar knew what I was going through.
Yeah.
Because he had his brother in it.
Yep. And you know what Mao's like?
Yeah.
He's a man's man.
And like, honestly, he's a champion.
Yeah.
I met all the Queensland staff and they couldn't believe how heavy it was. They're like, where? And then it was such a good week.
Yeah.
You know, we go, and then at the end of the year, we went to PNG together.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
So we did the PNG tour, and he's like, I'll see you next week. I said, sweet.
Because
So
we did the medical.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we went and done the medical on
Yep.
the Thursday, and I was going, I don't know, it was just, I ended up talking to Jace on the Tuesday.
Jason Tamalolo. Yep.
I said after our first semi together, I said, like, picture them, like, if we did.
Yep.
And our first chat was the mid-test when we versed each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, imagine if we went back to Tonga, like, right now. You know, we're both in our prime.
Yep.
Like, there's a moment here, like, we could do it.
Yep.
And then towards the end of the year, we said the same thing. I'll do it if you do it. You do it if I do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it if you do it. And like, we kind of said it. And they got to, like, Monday, and I was ringing him. And then Mao rang me when I was at Knockout. I was on the massage table. And he goes, you're in the team. Like I said last week, mate, congrats, all this. And I said, oh, thank you. And it just didn't sit well. I just was like, I've given enough to Australia. I've won a World Cup.
Yep.
I've done, I think, it all for my country.
Yep.
And then I get to, like, what have I done for my dad?
Yep, fair enough.
And I was like, yeah, Dad wasn't really there, but I remember when I was a child, he was there.
Yep.
So what can I do? And then I really thought about my auntie in Tonga, and I was like, you know what, I'll give it a crack.
Mm-hmm.
Rang Jason on Monday. He was on Monday because I made the grand final.
Yep.
And I was like, what do you reckon? He goes, I'll do it if you do it. And I said, all right, you do it, and I'll do it. And when we got named, he actually rang me. He was like, I thought you were coming. I said, no, I'm telling you now. You do it, and I'm doing it.
Yep.
So he did it, and I was like, fuck. I didn't think he was going to do it. But he did it, and I'm a man of my word. Me and Wolfie were like, so your team had to be in by the Wednesday.
Yep.
And by 7 a.m.
Okay.
And then, like, from 4 a.m., me and Wolfie are just to and from each other. I can't do it. I can't do it to them, boys. I'm in. And then it got to the last point where I was just like, and Nick was like thinking financially for the family.
Yep.
Like, it's
a lot of money, man.
50 grand.
Yeah, a lot of money.
It's an automatic 50 grand when you play in Australia.
Yeah.
You know, like, there was no team that was going to match us.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, but, like, I've won one, Nick. I said, I know, I can see the money and all this. And he goes, and she was just coming off all the drama we had last year. She goes, this is going to, like, be big if you do it. And I was like, I'm doing it. And she was fearful with me at the first. Yep. And like everyone else in Australia was fearful with me. But the best thing, like, I could honestly say, I told me dad, I made Australia. And then he gave me a handshake, said, oh, well done. Yep. But then when I told him, I spoke to Jason, and then Wolfie's like, you need to ring this person and this person and this person and tell them that you've made the commitment. Yep. I know you're named, but you've made the commitment. You are playing with us. Yep. So I had to ring. I go, who's the people? Now. He goes, Manumau. Why? And then I even rang Mao and I said, look, Mao, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go with Tonga. Yep. And he goes, if I had the chance to play with South Sea, I would have done the same thing.
That would have made your decision so much easier.
Yeah, and it put a lot of relief on me because I was at the airport listening to all the Tongan boys talking with Kitty, and Kitty was giving it to him.
Oh, was he?
It was like one by one, because you got to think, we took at least maybe 8 New Zealand players.
Well, that was going to be my next question. When you both deflected,
we had the ring.
Not deflected, but when you both went to
Jace
Tonga.
rang Siwa. I knew Jenko was coming with us. Yep. So I didn't even bother. I said, Jenko, that's us. Like, make sure we're.
So did you think all these players would come?
And then I had to ring Manumau, and I said, look, I know where he's come from with his struggles. Yep. I know where he's come from in the last 2 years. And then I was like, oh, honestly, man, like, I'm doing it, Jace doing it, we're going to have a crack for our tiny little island. And he goes, oh, let me talk to the wife. And then I go to message straight away, that's us, Docs. And I was like,
how good's that?
God. And it was just like a flow-on effect. Like, we had all these, like, Wolfie had this team selected, and then he literally took out 12 of them and then put in all of us. It was just like, you know, we're doing this for time. I just said, like, get me out of this country. Yep. I remember going out west again because all the media come rocked up. And then we walked to dinner that night, and people coming out of the pub just, you're a fucking disgrace to this country and all this. And I said, like, they don't get it. But
how was your old man when you told him you were playing for Tonga?
He dropped to his knees and cried.
Really?
It meant that much. I was like, this is, went back out of the Mount Jordan and he's just on his front lawn crying. Like, and I go,
I'm getting goosebumps in you.
yeah, just and for him to do that, like, it means so much.
Yep.
And I think the best thing I ever did was get out of the country and quickly get to Tonga.
Yep.
Because it was the most safest place for me, and a few of us went a bit earlier, and
yep.
I did a video. I said, I need to know, like, so I asked my dad, like, I said, Dad, translate, like, what's it mean for me to play for Tonga? And it pretty much shut everyone up.
How good is that?
Because my grandfather's sitting there crying. The whole of Tonga is like buzzing about it. And then, we get to game one and it was all about, I seen the videos. The only one out my back was freaking you. Like the pre-game short show, it's like, Andrew Fifita does this, and then there's you.
There's more to the game than just playing. I'm happy for you.
But that's, for me, it was like one of those things like, why does it have to be just the big three?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you got Australia, England, New Zealand.
Yeah.
The rest of yous, come take part in the World Cup and then, go do your business.
Yep.
Like, for us, it was so much more.
Can I say something? Look what you've done now. Look at the likes of Jerome Luai, Stephen Crichton. They wouldn't be doing that if you guys, I'm telling you now.
I said the last World Cup when Samoa made it, like, I had a moment to myself and I was like, you know what? We had input in this.
Look, they're rivals of yours, but how happy were you to see them in the final? You know what I mean?
It was massive. But I always said, I got gypped in my World Cup.
That was my next question.
Oh, bro.
So you've had a great tournament.
We had a great tournament.
England in the pre-final.
Pre-final.
In, what was it, Mount Smart or wherever it's called now? The moment at the end of the game.
You go to your leaders and it's a tough one for me. Because I understand, like, the loose carry and that.
Yep.
But I do understand of, like, the raking. Like, I felt hand on the ball and gone.
Yep.
But to continue, and then I seen it go, and he's dropped it, and I've just taken it and scored it again.
Yep.
The worst thing for me, Woodsy, was I had a touch judge on the side. Hop heard it. Toops heard it. And he's like, I have try. And he's just gone.
Wow.
And it put questions in us like, did they not want a Tier 2 nation up there? Well, like, we were really humming. And if there was any team to kind of match yous, I felt like it was us.
Mm-hmm.
Only because we had the forward pack to matches.
I just think the emotion.
We had the crowd, mate. Our crowd was like, I don't think you'd find any better. Like,
I've played you guys Australia versus Tonga, and it was one of the best crowds. But you know what the best part of your crowd was? They went for Australia as well.
Yeah. I heard them like sing the anthem. I was like, we don't know our anthem. It's going off.
Yep.
All right, now we're going to sing the Australian anthem. And then they're all singing that. I was like,
it's so good, mate.
All right, here we go. This is on.
But what you done for the game, for the international game, yourself and Jason Tamalalo, I don't think it gets enough credit for what you've done. Like, it's not just Tonga, it's the other ones, it's Fiji, it's the likes of Samoa, that players are now want to play for them instead of Australia or New Zealand.
That was the biggest thing for us, Woodsy, after that. Like, the buzz was still there. The want to verse Australia was still there.
Yep.
What we did with the fundings that we won, legitimately, we come third in the World Cup. So, we took half the money and put it up for our future for the next World Cup. We had, it
was crazy.
The rest of you got that. But it come down to, it was just one of those things. Then we were hearing, like, the next year, the kids were deflecting to play New Zealand schoolboys to play for.
So good.
Like, Tonga, the junior version.
Unbelievable.
It was massive. But to, to top it all off, like, don't get me wrong, they're my arch enemies with Samoa, Tonga, and that. Like, that's a Pacific Battle's biggest state of origin.
Yep.
But to see them go so far, because it was like once a Pacific nation's out, they jump on the next bandwagon.
Crazy, eh?
And that's what it is in the islands. We jump on the next one. Like, all us Tongans straight on the Samoan boat. Everyone was going for them.
It was huge.
So I don't, like, being in England, they would have had a much better time if it was over here again. Yeah. But, like, our crowds were awesome. I remember when we beat New Zealand, like, they just jerseys off, red jersey on.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it? You didn't just beat them, you thumped them.
Yeah. And just our comeback for it too.
And obviously you went for that. One thing I would want to ask you before, obviously, we wrap it up, is remember the COVID year?
Yeah.
Do you remember that game after Newcastle?
Yeah.
We're playing at, I think it's called KO Stadium, the Dolphins home ground.
Home ground.
So we just get through a game. And I remember you sort of said, I got hit in the throat. I think it was Clem hit you in the
Yeah.
throat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then you're sort of like, I'm just getting a bit of shortness of breath. And then I remember after we had a shower, I looked down on the field and there's just ambos everywhere.
So that was there was a moment in the game where Clem like our season was on the line. We win that game, we're in the semis.
We make semis, yeah.
So like we took it a lot more personal. We're going after it, and it was just it was a rare occasion. Like me and Clem are two big humans, and we end up clashing, and we get hits everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This was just a freak of an accident. I even said this to a lot of kids. It's not like he didn't get out there and just give me a big jab to the throat. No, it was just we're tackling. We're two big humans. I didn't take the sign seriously, so it was early in the second half.
Yep.
And we're just chasing the game. I ended up going off, ended up losing my breath, and I was screaming because I was trying to amp the boys.
We
up.
wanted
Like,
to win,
I wanted to win. I wanted to stay longer in Brizzy. So it kept going and going, and then I was feeling when we lose, like I know I'm exactly like yourself. Like, oh, don't talk to me. I'm off the world.
Yeah.
Just for the next 24 hours, I want to dwell on it and just you know, be me. And then I went out a shower early, come back, and then I told Big, I was like, so I got hit in the throat, but like, I need my puffer. I felt like I needed my puffer.
Yep.
And then the lady doctor was like, oh, you want to come outside with me? I said, oh, just leave me. I just want to quickly get changed. And then I'll come and see her. And then soon I walked outside, it was just like, oh, I think this is what's happened with you, Andrew. Where'd you get hit? And I said, oh, in my neck. And she goes, okay. And then she started panicking. And lucky Cat, you know, Catterick?
Yeah, Craig Catterick. Yep.
Craig was there, and he kind of like settled down. And Bick, God bless Bick, and he was really and then half hour went out on that field, and I was just like, let's go.
Yeah.
What are we doing? There's a hospital at Redcliffe,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, like Andrew can't. This is a bit more, and I was like, I'm thinking about my kids.
A little bit of anxiety kicks in, yeah.
I'm sitting going, mate, I'm starting to lose. So I take my shirt off. I'm just like, come on, we got to go. Like, I know, I've seen movies, I've seen all this, and once it starts like going, it's starting to go on. I'm starting to lose. I felt like I was in the altitude chamber.
Yeah,
the altitude
short
chamber.
of breath.
Short of breath, and I'm sitting there going, all right, I need to calm it down now. Like, and go back to like when we're in that chamber, like, how are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Fat Club. You really helped with that. And yeah, it got to a point where, like, when the ambulance come, I had 2 rookie ambulance drivers. So I was like, 2 minutes, and we're at the hospital, and everything be done. And then they're like, no, we've got to go back to Brisbane.
What?
So it's like a 45-minute drive back to Brisbane. And we got halfway, and we had to swap drivers.
Oh, Jesus. And
I was like, bro. And then Big's just into me going, I promise you now, Andrew, I'll cut you before we get to the hospital if it got to that point. And
so that's what cut your throat?
Cut my throat. You see in movies where they just slice it so you can breathe.
Yep.
I'm there in the thing, and they're trying to put a mask, and I was just like ripping it off. I was like, don't, I can't breathe. I've got this little mini fan in the ambulance, and I'm just it was like it ended up being like a Macca straw by this point. And I'm like, and I'm trying to breathe, and I said, Bick, I need your phone. I need your phone.
Yep.
And I didn't remember this. It took me. After the event, I was driving in the off season. I went past the airport, and I was just thinking of that plane. And the plane went down. You know, the mask come out.
Yeah. Oxygen.
And I just went bang, and I was like, "Fuck, Nick, you got the recording?" She goes, "What recording?" And I was like, I rang Bick, and I said, "Bick, who did I send the message to?" And she goes, "You got one number wrong." So I sent it to some random person.
Oh, shivers.
It was a point where I wanted my kids to hear me before I go.
Wow.
It was the last, everyone says they got the last letter. It was my last voice message.
Jesus.
Just to tell them I love them. And I guess you can, it does hit home. I don't think anyone in life should get to that point.
Oh, man.
Where they had that.
Could not imagine.
And like my missus didn't even know what was going on at the time. And it was a point where I was just, and you can hear I got the voice message, but like I don't let no one kind of hear it because it's pretty intense.
No way, yeah.
And lucky I sent it to the wrong number because Nick.
She would have been.
And I remember we got there, and I was down to 30% oxygen.
Jesus.
So you meant to sit at between 90 and 90, like you sit about 98.
Yep.
Anywhere between 100 and 90 is good.
Yeah.
And I was down to 30. and they were trying to lift me out, and I was like, no, just get me in. And I kind of jumped on, like, off the thing onto their thing. I was like, go. And then I seen the doctor.
Yeah.
He, lucky, because he was listening to the game, and then heard someone got hit in the throat. So he wasn't even meant to be on.
Wow.
And it was just like, he just goes, I need to go home.
Yeah.
And he got there, and he was waiting for me. And I was like, thanks. And then I ended up waking up.
Wow.
But I thought they actually snapped my neck.
Jesus.
I couldn't move. I was trying to, like, just move in general.
Wow.
Move the legs, couldn't move it. And the rehab to get back was just, you said, knowledge. It was.
I remember when you come back to the hotel we're at.
Yeah.
You sort of had that thing, the tube.
I had
And you could.
I had a tracheotomy. So if you don't know what that is, it's a breathing tube that goes in there. And then the day I got out, I wasn't meant to leave, but because we're in a hotel full of no one,
it
was just us, I was allowed to leave and be in a safe space. And we had a doc on board.
Remember you had to do certain thing to talk?
I had to push the button.
Push the button. Yeah, you had a button.
So I had a button.
Yeah.
And then, I had the button. I was pushing it just to talk to people. But, like, I'd walk to the lobby and I'd be gone. And for me, Ledge, imagine doing a pre-season and, like, you know when you're gone. You've done about 1 million Malcolm. If I was to do 1 million Malcolms, and you're so gone, you just want to lay, like, that was it. I had a window, and when I went back there, it was literally 10 meters away.
Wow.
And I was like, my God, I can't talk just to get to that window and touch it and come back. And they said, if you could do one full block walk, you can go home. And I was like, fuck, I'll get there. You're telling
telling the big man he can't do it, he'll do it.
Like, to have a week off, like, a week out.
Yep.
Like, I went to sleep on game day and woke up and you were off to go on the Tigers.
Yeah.
That was the frown upon. But then to find out the nits and grits, a thing where everyone was chasing me and trying to find out little details. Nick knew there was a leak inside our hub.
Yeah.
Like, someone was telling someone. And then Nick just said, I remember from the second day, she was like, no, he's fine. He's in hospital.
Yeah,
he's just doing his thing.
Yep.
But what no one knew, I was still in a coma.
Yeah.
I had a really, like, rough patch. I ended up getting pneumonia. They end up, like, cutting the other side of my throat. Jesus. And they were going to end my career there. But he was like, if you're going to wake him up next day, please just let him make the career, the choice. Nick was just like, nah, please don't. Nick's my wife.
Yep.
And he goes, I don't want to do it for him. And then, so they did it. They stitched me back up. What they didn't realize, there was something going on. I was internal bleeding. They hit an artery in my neck. And then, lucky I was kind of like on a lean to the right. So my whole right lung was full of blood. And they just took me emergency and started pumping all the blood out.
Far out.
So that was that one. And then,
and honestly, like, we were scared back there. Like, because we hadn't heard from you.
Yeah.
And, like, we were in a lot of contact with Nick. And Nick's like, he's going okay. Like you said, he's going okay. But, my wife was pretty close to Nick. And, we were worrying, man. And then when you come in that day, it was like, yeah, we could tell you had the button and the thing, but it was a huge relief on the group, man.
Yeah. I don't wish it upon anyone. I think there's been one other player who's had it but never come back from it, and I think that was my goal.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Lastly, before we wrap it up, the motivation that preseason, and when you finally get to play, what's going through your head? Like, seriously, because that injury was one of the worst things I've seen.
I think it's more, the belief to get back. I think that was the hardest preseason I ever did.
Yep.
I started off with the pole in the preseason, like in the off-season with my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I said, please hold the pole while I do this. I did 3 reps and I was gone. I was the same with preseason. Like, I was doing the bar and I had Royce. He's the world's strongest person.
Yeah.
And for I was matching with him the preseason before.
Yeah.
The only person I trust on the bench was him.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, get on, please. And we started with 5 kilos on each side. And I was like, please, we got to get to a point where I'm actually manageable to actually have a crack. But the thing is, with that preseason, I would get going and then calf.
Okay.
And everything kept, and when I got going, hemi. And then I was like, and I kept going home to Nick. I said, Nick, it's done. I said, I can't get going.
Yep.
I just can't do the preseason. I'm like, my footy's done.
Yep.
And then we go into camp down the thing, and then it was the week I got back with my hemi.
Yep.
We start doing down at the Collegians.
Yep.
And we get through the scrimmage session. And Fitzy's like, oh, they're trying to tell me you picked for All-Stars. But you've done nothing. Like in the preseason, you don't want to go, do you? And I was like, nah, I'll go.
Yep.
And he's like, what? And it's the first time Fitzy's like come in as coach, and he's like, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm going to go. And he's like, oh, are you sure? Like, he goes, I can't risk you like going out. I said, like, Fitzy, I'm going to do it.
I need to
do it. Like, and at the end of the day, All Stars, you have a minute on and you're off.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say I get back to rugby league, and then I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So I end up getting in the game and take the first hit up. I dropped the ball. I was like, fuck.
What a start.
Oh, this is a start arm. And I was like, this is me.
No.
And I ended up doing it, and it come personal again, and everything come back to me, and it was just like, I'm home.
You're
back
a competitor.
on the footy field, yeah. And then I ended up playing really good, and then Canterbury played good, and then I ended up just staying with the team.
How good's that?
It was just, it was the toughest thing for me, but fuck, it was good.
And so, what's in store for Andrew? Obviously, you applied for the women's job. Are we going to look to NRLW head coach or what?
No, mate, I'm humble pie with my little 10-year-old girls. No, it's been good. It's been look, I'm student council at a school out in Cogra. It's been mad. I love working with all the boys and that there. Especially like you can relate to a lot of them. So I love doing that counselling stuff. There's a few things in the works from behind the scenes.
Yep.
I reckon we can implement into the public education.
Oh, beautiful.
Especially around helping the boys through transition from elite thing. And it's just not rugby league stars. I want soccer.
Oh,
basketball.
beautiful.
There's a lot of it. So there's that. And then the coaching thing, just being there for my kids. I think that's the main thing.
Oh, lovely.
It's been awesome. So
well, one thing, mate. Just don't give the kids any ideas or tips on dieting, mate. Because we know your motto is eat pie, score tries, mate.
Yeah, bro, you know that. If anyone ever tries to bring that, that's
mate.
me.
Fifth, mate, I can't thank you enough. What a story, what a journey, brother. Thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Thanks, brother. You're a legend.